Hi everyone, this is David Fisher at Cape Life Properties, and I want to go over the very first form you're going to be asked to sign as a potential buyer in a real estate transaction. And that form is the Massachusetts Mandatory Real Estate Licensee Consumer Relationship Disclosure. I know it's a mouthful. This form must be presented to you at the first personal meeting by the real estate licensee to discuss a specific property. However, this form is not a contract. It is a disclosure. A disclosure is a document which simply tells you something. This document informs you of the various types of agency. Agency is the relationship between a real estate licensee and the consumer. As you can see, there are three types of agency. There is a seller's agent, there is a buyer's agent, and there is a facilitator. In this particular case, you can see that buyer's agent is checked off, and this indicates that the real estate licensee is representing the client as a buyer's agent. When you sign this form, you are only acknowledging that this disclosure has been provided to you. You're not engaging in any type of contractual services. To get a little deeper into the type of agency representation that exists, as you can see on the back of the form, you have the seller's agent. Seller's agent, as it states, represents the seller. We have the buyer's agent. The buyer's agent represents the buyer. When you are a buyer's agent, you owe the client 5 duties: undivided loyalty, reasonable care, disclosure, obedience to lawful instruction, and confidentiality in accounting. You're also required to put the buyer's interest first. And roughly those same duties apply to a seller's agent. Where it changes is when you come across a facilitator. A facilitator does not represent either the buyer or the seller in the transaction. Consequently, the facilitator has no duty to keep information received confidential. Normally, you come across a facilitator at an open house type situation. Remember, only your designated agent represents your interests. If you're talking with someone at an open house, that person, unless they're your agent, doesn't represent your interests. Where it can get confusing is a dual agent situation. Massachusetts allows agents to represent both the buyer and seller in a transaction. This consent must be in writing. While a dual agent shall be neutral with conflicting interests of law, a dual agent cannot satisfy the 5 duties. Specifically, they cannot satisfy the full duties of loyalty, full disclosure, and obedience to lawful instructions. Question is, why would you work in a dual agency situation? There are very few limited situations where you should do this. You should always have a buyer's agent or a seller's agent, depending on who you are. We at Cape Life Properties pride ourselves on representing our buyers and our sellers in a seller's agent, buyer's agent representation. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you.